today I want to talk about why I wanted to go into therapy to begin with. I was talking to my advisor, and she recommended just getting the thoughts out there to figure out exactly which career path to go down because the one I'm currently on includes another 2.5 years of school after I get done with undergrad, and I don't know, I don't like school like that. But yeah, therapy is something that's always interested me, and on a more basic level, I would not want to pick a job that's going to be something I hate the rest of my life. I want to pick something that I actually enjoy and look forward to doing every day, right? Because I've had pretty bad depression all my life. Going back to all the way back to fourth grade. That was the first time I had any kind of mental issues. I remember writing down in my diary that I wanted to die, and then one of the administrators at the school saw it, and they had my parents take me out of school, and they brought me to a mental hospital. And they looked me over, and they're like, no, she's fine, and then I went home. My parents, they don't really believe in mental health. Like, sure, they believe that there are schizophrenic people and people with actual mental illnesses, but depression, anxiety, they always went, oh, well, you have a middle class life, so why are you sad? Well, one big thing is the diabetes. A lot of people with type 1 have depression. That's a big one right there. But beyond that, I just was a weird child. My parents were my parents, and we're all the product of how we were raised. Growing up, I just didn't have a lot of friends. I tended to attach to those friends I did have, and I got bullied through most of elementary and middle school. High school, I think people don't tend to get bullied unless you're doing something really out there, but in middle school, I remember going into a classroom one day for like science, and we're out in the trailers, so there's no other teachers around, no teachers were out there yet either, and then everyone just starts chanting, go kill yourself, and I remember that, obviously. And I think the dates are really hard for me to get a hold of because my memory is bad for specifics. But in 8th grade, I think it's the first time I went to a mental hospital. My mom put me into therapy. I mentioned that I wanted to die, and the therapist rushed me into a mental hospital. Personally, I wasn't. There's a difference between passive and active suicidal thought, okay? If you're passive, it's more like I want to close my eyes and not wake up in the morning. If it's active, it's more like I have a gun and I plan on shooting myself. There's a difference in the depth of the desire there. Personally, I think I probably shouldn't have gone because it was mostly just traumatizing. Because when you go into a mental hospital, you have nothing. They take away everything from you. You don't have any control over anything. That loss of autonomy is very frightening. And on top of that, a lot of the people who work there, you were not with doctors all day. You were not with people who were medicated professionals. No, you were with hospital techs who were basically guards to make sure no one killed themselves or tried to escape. They shuffled us around from one place to another, and that was it. And a lot of them, I remember some of the stuff they'd say, like, you just need to pray more. Or we were in a discussion about religion, which I don't think they should have been pushing on the kids in there. And one of the ladies was like, you need to listen to you need to be one with your man. You need to follow under the lead of your man. That's what's wrong with you. You need a good man to show you how to live your life. And I was in the hospital at least a couple more times. I think it was either 3 or 4. Although admittedly, it's really hard to recall the details. I know that I've met friends there who I still keep in touch with, and I know that I was there at least 3 more times. And each time it was not good. My mom would drop me off there because she wanted to get a break from me. She'd literally put the child lock on the car, take me home from school or something. I'd come in with nothing more than homework, and she'd go and be like, okay, I want a break from you, so I'm leaving you here for the week. And of course, being a minor, what are they going to do? Listen to me? Of course not. So those experiences, for one, made me really want to help people. So keep people from having the same experience that I had when I was in the hospital. Very shitty experience. And then in my family, there's just been a lot of mental illness in general. 2 of my cousins have schizophrenia, which it might be linked to their marijuana use, which is why I don't smoke. And nothing terrifies me more than the idea of like going insane, going crazy, and not being able to realize it. That's one of the scariest things to me because of course they didn't realize it. It just happened one day, and people around them noticed, but they didn't. And then going back to where I started this video at, psychology is fun. I really do enjoy learning about it. It's something that allows me to help people, which is something I've always wanted to do. I just didn't want to go to med school because I don't want to be in school for 12 years. But therapy is something that I'm legitimately interested in, and I've always been the therapy friend. A lot of my friends people who I didn't even know, people who aren't even my friends, would come up to me and ask to speak with me on deep, dark subjects. And I think I give pretty decent advice. I'm a pretty decent listener, and I do enjoy helping other people. I can never work a job like Lowe's or something, where you're just doing cashier for the rest of your life and it means nothing to anyone and it's just slogging through the day. When you get home, you're tired and it's horrible. Honestly, when I was growing up, even now, I thought that I would be dead before 30. So I've always planned my life with this deadline of I gotta do all these things before 30 because when I hit 30, I'm gonna die. And that may or may not be true. I'm not 30 yet. But I do still have that lingering sword, just hanging over me, and I don't know how it's gonna fall. I do know that I really do like therapy, and I do like the idea of helping other people, and I'm hoping that once I get my mental health figured out, that I can help people in the same way that I didn't get help. I'm really glad that right now I'm seeing a therapist who is finally on my side. A lot of the therapists I used to go to would pay attention to my mom's feelings over mine, and then whenever I did go to a therapist that was listening to me, my mom would go, "Oh, she's turning you against me," when it really would be like, your daughter needs boundaries. But we're going to leave that one alone. Finally, I just wanted to touch on one of the biggest reasons is just a reason to live. See, I've tried to kill myself 3 times. I tried to 2 times. I tried to eat a bunch of sleeping pills, like a whole bottle, about 40 pills, and I started feeling really bad, and I regretted it, so I went down and told my mom about it, and she didn't believe me. And then when I threw up the 40 pills on the hallway, she was just mad about the mess. The fact that I had eaten a bunch of pills didn't seem to register to her. And another time was when I tried to drink bleach. One of my friends from the hospital done the same thing, and I don't know how she did it, because that stuff burns. And now I'm sure I could do it now. I can drink vodka straight. I'm sure I can drink bleach straight. But I shouldn't be bragging on that. But those are my 2 big ones, and besides that, there's been a bunch of little, smaller things in between. And I think that all of the stuff that I've had to go through gives me a lot more in common with whoever my patients are going to be. It's like it's a very specific field. You have to have gone through something to want to be a therapist in general, because how else are people going to be able to relate? Being a therapist, working in the mental health field, you have to be personal, you have to care. In the same way that working with children, you have to care. And this is something that I really do care about. So hopefully, I should be done with college in a year and a half, maybe a little bit sooner if I can speedrun it. And then I'm going to go look for a grad school. I was debating traveling, going overseas, but we'll see. Life is expensive and I don't have money. If you made it to the end, the code is Biscuit. I'm watching you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.